Okay, this isn't part of your unit assessment, your learning target 2 assessment, but I wanted to show you something that's going to be really important. And these are called mixed numbers, okay? And I'm going to show you how to turn fractions into mixed numbers. Mixed numbers are fractions like this, like 1 and 2/3. The reason why we call them mixed is because you have a whole number and you have a fraction. So they're mixed. You have a whole number and a fraction. So this is what you would call our whole number, right? And this is what you would call our fraction. So there's two different kinds of numbers. They're a whole number and a fraction together. Well, sometimes when you're dividing fractions, like say for instance, you have 1/2 divided by, let's see, I'm sorry. Let's make this 4/2 divided by 3/5, something like that, okay? Now, when you divide these fractions out, you end up with 4/2 times 5/3, which ends up giving you, when we multiply the numerator and the denominator, you end up getting 2/9. So this right here is what you call an improper fraction. Improper means it's top heavy, that the numerator, the top, right, is larger than the denominator, which is the bottom, right? So you see here 20 is bigger than 9. So typically you don't leave them like that. So I wanted to show you how to make a mixed number out of this. So what you do is you divide 9 into 20, okay? Now you're probably thinking, oh, Ms. Hernandez, I hate division. That's like my worst nightmare. It's not as bad as you think, I promise, because I'm just going to show you what to do with the remainder. So 9 times something comes close to 20. Well, that would be 2. Because if we do 3, it's too big, okay? So we bring it down here, we subtract. And 20 minus 18 is 2. Well, we have a remainder we have to deal with. So your remainder goes up on top. Okay, that's where your remainder goes. Your remainder always goes up on top. And then your denominator always stays the same. So in this case, 9 is our denominator. So our final answer for this thing could be 20/9. Or if you want to write it as a mixed number, it would be 2 2/9. They're the same thing. It's just two different ways of writing them. Okay, let's do another one so you can see, because I want you to be able to see how we solve this. So say we divided a fraction and we ended up with 6/5. Okay, this is what you call improper, because the top right here is bigger than the bottom right here, right? The numerator is bigger than the denominator. So we are going to divide. Remember, we want to divide bottom into top. So 5 into 6. Okay, so I say 5 times 1, 5 times something has to come close to 6. Well, in this case, it's 1. So I bring it down and subtract it. And my remainder is 1. So again, you want to take your remainder and you want to always put it on top. Okay, the top always, the numerator is always the remainder, and then the denominator, this right here, it stays the same. So 6/5 is the same as 1 1/5. So we have 6/5 is the same as 1 1/5. Okay, so that would be our final answer. Let's do another one. Say you end up with 13/7. We're going to divide bottom into top because the top's too big for the bottom. That shouldn't be. Okay, so we're going to go 7 into 13. Well, again, if I do 7 times 2, that becomes 14. That's too big, so it has to be 1. So I'm going to subtract 13 minus 7. I'm going to count up after 7 comes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So my remainder is 6. The remainder always goes on top of the numerator. Okay, on the numerator. And this denominator 7 always stays the same. That's it. Nothing to it. Let's do one more example for good measure. Okay, say we have 18 over 6. I'm going to divide the denominator into the numerator. So 18, 6 times what comes close to 18? Well, in this case, 6 times 3 is 18. So my answer is 3. So 18 over 6 is the same as 3. I don't have a mixed number because I don't have a remainder. It's just 0. Okay. Just like right here, 13 over 7 is the same as 1 6/7. Okay, same thing, just two different ways of writing it. Just like what we have here, 6/5 is the same as 1 1/5. Same thing, it's just two different ways of writing it. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to practice really quick. The first practice is just making these into mixed numbers, okay? I want you to convert to mixed numbers. So you have 7/3, you have 11/5, and you have 12 over 9. Okay, those are the three that I want you to convert to mixed numbers. I guess I should have written that, huh? Convert to mixed numbers, or mixed fractions. Now we'll say mixed numbers. Okay, practice converting those to mixed numbers. And then the second one's just for some extra practice with dividing. We're going to divide, and then we're going to convert, okay, to mixed numbers. So you have 1/2 divided by 1/5. Okay, that's your first one. Then you have 3/4 divided by, let's say, 2 over 6. Okay, and then the last one is 4/5. Oops, that doesn't look like a 5. 4/5 divided by 1/5. Okay, so you have 3 to work on. I want you to divide them, find the answer, then convert to a mixed number. You have plenty to do.